partners, invited guests, and every participant here present, especially Professor Eukudnwa, who is one of the speakers, and the HODs around, and our distinguished student worker students. Your presence enriches this event and reaffirms the collective responsibility we share in advancing education for sustainable development. I welcome you warmly to this intellectual and celebratory gathering. May today's deliberations ignite fresh insight, strengthen our bonds, and inspire us to continue building a brighter future through education. We are LASU, we are great. Thank you very much.
Please, a round of applause for him. Thank you so much, sir. That was a beautiful one. We're grateful, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Quickly, we're going to be recognizing the presence of the head of Department of Educational Foundations and Counseling, Psychology, in person of Professor Ife Abodurin. We say you're welcome, sir. Thank you, sir, for coming. And right about now, we're going to be bringing up the convener of this impactful conference, a woman whose vision, passion, and dedication to teacher development made today's gathering possible. She's an educator, a trainer, and a transformational leader. She continues to champion excellence in teaching and learning. As the lead consult at Wholistic Edu-Consult, she has been at the forefront of equipping teachers with the knowledge, confidence, and the leadership skills. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise with a round of applause as we make welcome the convener of the Teachers Leadership Conference, Coach Olubomi Odiaka.
Thank you so much. Good morning. Thank you for being here. You can sit, please. You should leave the rising up for the professors and the doctors in the house. Thank you so much for the warm welcome, and thank you for being here today. This is a dream of when I was in secondary school. So it is a dream of over 27 years. And it came to life about 15 years ago. So this has been on for about 15 years, but it became official 3 years ago. And the first edition, we were able to attend or impact about 578 teachers. And the second one, we had to limit it to just 8 teachers and the head of departments in the school. So we had about 284. This year, we decided that it should be open to teachers in the early years classroom. And the reason is, the foundation of a child is very important. Whatever a child can grasp at the beginning would last for a long time. And I want us to understand that you are here not just for the paparazzi. I'm okay with the paparazzi, but you must make sure you do not leave here without being equipped. You must leave here equipped as a brand new teacher who understands how to lead beyond the classroom. Leadership is beyond the seat or the position. Leadership is influence. So as a teacher, you must know that you are an influencer. You influence the children. They believe so much in you. If whatever you're doing in the classroom is not something good, be rest assured that these children will go out there and copy you verbatim. They won't even try to mince words. That is why a very, very renowned philosopher said, enter into the child's mind, and you have entered into the child's mind with play, and you have entered into all of their existence. And I want you to understand that this existence of the children starts from now. So what are you going to do better after today? I would want you to pay attention because we have renowned professors of education in the room. The Vice Chancellor was warmly represented. If you do not have the knowledge, you will just go there and blab. And I do not want us to raise the generation of teachers where they are not giving value to the children. Please pay rapt attention today, because our session is about to start. And I would want you to make sure that you jot down your questions. Make sure all your questions are here with you, and you ask them where necessary. I'm going to be bringing up one of our first speakers, but before we do that, I would like to say thank you to the Faculty of Education. Thank you to the Vice Chancellor for actually allowing this to happen. Because the truth is, this would not happen without them actually giving their support. Thank you so much. God bless you. Thank you to my very, very long-term friend. Please, if you can, help me give him a round of applause. We've known since the year 2006. That should be 19 years now. 19 years. Dr. Oladejo, thank you so much for being here. Thank you. Thank you very much. This dream is not devoid of him, because we talk about it a lot while we're in the higher institution. Thank you so much for coming to grace this one. God bless you. All right, I'm going to be bringing up our very first speaker, who is an associate professor at the University of Ilorin. She's an early childhood educator, a visionary of vocation through vocation, a seasoned lecturer with an excitement to build a self-reliant student. Aspired to teach vacation in the curriculum. Please, with a standing ovation and with a smile on your face, please make sure you're smiling so that she's feeling so much welcome. Please welcome with me, Dr. Eniola KG Olalani.
Thank you. Thank you. Please, let's sit. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, house. We are teachers. Please, we respond. And we respond, we clap. I've been wondering why we've not been clapping. Let's clap, and we've not been clapping. I'm a teacher. And I want to tell you that I love teaching. I love teaching, and I love teaching. So please, I want to believe I'm at home. I'm in the midst of my people. Foremost, let me appreciate the convener of this program. Let me appreciate shall I say, people that invited me. I'm so honored. I'm happy to be in our midst. Just like she introduced me, I'm from University of Ilorin, where we say we are better by far. LASU used to say we are LASU, we are proud. LASU is not proud again. LASU is great. And that is life. You tell people who you are. If you don't write your testimonial, if you allow people to write it for you, they write garbage there. So that's why we are teachers. We have to write our testimonials, and we build people. When the chairman, or when Professor Abidogun talked, when he was talking, he said something that teachers are nation builders, are this, and the VC representative said we are torch bearers. We are great. We mold minds. Different things you talk about teachers. When we are talking about Teachers' Day, globally, Teachers' Day is October 5. And I like this special day that we have chosen today, October 10, meaning that teachers are great, 10-10. You know, when you write an exam and you have 10-10, that means you are there at the apex. So teachers are great. So I like this date. And please, let's have it at the back of our mind that we are great. At any level at which you are teaching, you are great. You are teachers. You are molding minds. You are building people. So what I have before me this morning is equipping teachers for 21st century. When we talk about 21st century, we are all in 21st century together. Some of us started when we were using slate and chalk, when teachers were holding our hands to write. But this is 21st century. And that's one thing I like about education. Education is not static, it's dynamic. It changes. When you teach today, my own style, when I teach for a session, if I want to teach that particular class the next session, I don't use my lesson note for the previous session. I must change things there. And that is how teachers must be. I asked, who is a teacher? Okay, please, can I have the slide? Okay, we have 21st century teachers as we define what it means to teach. You know, like I said, the era of slate and chalk. the era of clay to mold pots and the likes. Those eras are, they were in stages and they have gone. So we are in an era of 21st century. So how do we mold minds? How have we been doing it? We are redefining teaching. In your class as a teacher, this is a rhetoric question. Ask yourself, how do you teach your learners? Do you teach them to teach your own children? Do you teach them because you are just collecting salaries? Do you teach them to build nations? I tell my students anywhere, at any level I teach, that I want them to be better than I am. When I say ABC, you tell me the next thing. Don't ask me what is the next thing. So that is what teachers should be doing. We don't help them to think. We teach them to think. We don't think for them. We put them at the pedestrian at which they must think, and they must think rightly. They must be better than us as learners. So we have that it is no longer enough to teach content. What do we now teach? We don't teach content alone. I've been to schools to see people on teaching practice, observation, and the likes. And they will be telling you, I have to finish this syllabus. It must be done. Yes, it must be done. It must be done. Something just came to my mind now. I appreciated the convener. I'm sorry. I introduced myself as Dr. Lalani from Better by Far University, University of Ilorin, Faculty of Education, Department of Adult and Primary Education. I always like my learners to emulate me. But what I've done, I omitted something. I was saying we are LASU, we are proud, we are LASU, we are great now. I want to appreciate Lagos State University for accommodating this kind of a program. It's innovative. It's a program that improves us daily. That's why I said education is dynamic. It changes every day. When we have an avenue like this to appreciate ourselves, to encourage ourselves, and to motivate ourselves, it goes a long way. I read that in Japan, every day is Teachers' Day. They recognize teachers every day. They even have special stall, mall, shops for teachers where they buy at cheaper rates. That is how it should be everywhere. Someone that molded your life, someone that built you, someone that has given you life, you have to recognize them anywhere you go. That is what we must teach our students, our learners. We are not buying cheap recognition, but let's instill it in their minds that wherever you see a teacher, please recognize a teacher. That's why I said we are not teaching content alone. This is what they must know. Enough of 2 + 2 is equal to 4. Let's bring innovation. Let's inspire our students. How do you inspire your students? Thank you. You are doing well. You get there. The era of forming rows. I can remember very well when we were in primary school. Row 1, row 2, row 3. And your teachers will tell you, stand up. 9, 9. 10, 10. Sit down. 9/10. And they will now tell you to be singing for some people. You know that kind of a thing. That era has gone. There is no dullard anywhere. That's why some scholars, educators, that's why they've contested this tabula rasa of a thing. There's no empty slate anywhere. We have something upstairs. When you are teaching a student or you are teaching a group of learners, don't think you are the alpha and the omega. Some of them in your class know better than you do. But because they are your students, they will not talk. So it is a class of inspiring your learners. You motivate them. You bring creativity to class. You don't just go there and be dogmatic. This is what they asked me to teach. 2 + 2. You put 2 stick here, 2 stick here. You now can't ask them to be counting. They've gone beyond that. What do we call our generation, our children today, Gen Z or whatever? They've gone far. They are not all this methodology of locomotive. It slows them down. That's why John Dewey says, if you are teaching learners the way you were taught or the way they've been taught in the past, you are slowing them down. We move with the trend. We teach with we must inspire the students, the learners. We bring innovation to the class, and we lead change. How do we do that? As a teacher yourself, what do you do? Mastery of the subject, your language in the class, your comportment. I keep telling people, we will still get there. Who is a teacher? When you are a teacher, you carry yourself with charisma. You are not supposed to be proud, but you have confidence in yourself. And in the community that you are, they know that you are teachers. You know, in the past, we used to see teachers, they wear their calico, shorts, and whites, all ever neat. I was telling somebody a few months ago that at times, I didn't go to grade 2, but I used to appreciate grade 2 teachers. Very neat teachers, sound in teaching. They have good methodology. You know, when they were in school, as early as 5 a.m., you see them on the field doing exercise. Very smart teachers. I thought the VC representative would still be here by the time I will be giving my lecture. But please, for people at the realm of affairs, let's take it to them. Why must we scrap grade 2? And same thing is happening to grade SC now, colleges of education. Nobody is saying anything about that. Nobody is saying anything about that. Fingers can never be equal. There are some learners that they must start from grade 2. From grade 2, they will metamorphosize to NC. From NC, they go to university. Grade 2 used to feed colleges of education in the past. Colleges of education used to feed universities. But now, we don't have grade 2 again. All of us are just starting from the top. That is why we are having commotion. We are having problem everywhere. When you say grade 2 now, it's as if you are saying a taboo or abomination. Grade 2 is very good. So please, I hope this will go beyond talk shop. We do training, we do workshop. They are just talk shop. We talk, we speak English, we speak grammar. No communicate. Our talk is not going anywhere. Please let this one go to the people at the realms of affairs. If government can do it, let's return grade 2. And please, they should stop killing NC. We are happy when they are promoting our colleges of education to universities. We are happy. I'm not saying that it's not a good innovation, but at the same time, we should still have colleges of education. In colleges of education, you know, you do practical things. University is full of abstracts. You speak English, you write paper, you present your paper. But when you are in colleges of education, you do things. What do you call this thing? Instead of clay that we use it now, that use flour and the likes to make things. You have sand tray, you have everything for learners. Play-doh, thank you. You do Play-Doh, but how many universities do we have in Nigeria that are doing that? When we are talking about instructional materials, we buy. Teachers are meant to produce instructional materials themselves, at least 75–80%. But now we buy virtually everything. We are not recycling anything again. We are not making use of our waste products again. So please, teachers in the house, let's take this back to our. If you are not taking anything home today, I want you to take that to class. When you get back to your schools, let's be innovative. Let's bring innovation into classrooms. Don't teach the way you were taught. Don't teach because you want them to speak phonetics alone. When it comes to application, teach them so that they will be able to apply when they get to where they will apply it. So we have that teachers plant seed of knowledge that grow forever. What kind of seed are you sowing? You know, that one, we copied it, we've written it from somewhere. But now let's ask ourselves practically, what type of a teacher are you? Who are you in the classroom? What kind of seed are you sowing? Some of my students, my postgraduate students, they still say it. They always tell me that when they were in undergraduate, that somebody was there early, that the person who used to say, on Friday I don't see, on Mondays I don't see students. If you mistake on Tuesdays, they don't see students. And they will be using words on them. Please, who are you in your class? You should be your learners' friends. That doesn't mean they will not respect you. I went to a school for a teaching practice exercise, and I got to that school, I saw this cane, pankere. It was up to the lintel of the VP Akat's window. I was like, please, ma, what do you do with this? She said, prerequisite for admission. I said, pankere. Who are you using this on? She said, they are the students. That don't you know that they are this? And she started calling them names. I'm talking of, it was in Oshu State that it happened. I said, ma, they are the ones giving you food. She said, who are they? They raped copper. They did this. And I said, oh, so madam, you don't raise anybody in this school than vagabonds, useless people. You know, she changed it because she got the message. How on earth will you call yourself a teacher and you be calling your learners names? You don't beat them again. You modify their behaviors. I taught for 15 years in secondary school. I can't remember ever taking cane to my class because I see it as a weakling. When you call yourself a teacher and you are going to class, you are taking cane. That means you are a weak teacher. Without cane, they will not respect you. It shouldn't be. They must respect your personality in the class. When you say clap, they must clap. When you say it's enough, they must talk. I don't tell my learners not to talk. They are free to talk. When I sit beside my colleagues, when my VC is talking, I talk. It's only when he looks towards my direction that I keep quiet. So how will you now get to class and you'll be telling your learners not to talk? Are they not living things? They will talk. But by the time you look at their direction, when they keep quiet, you don't see anything. We will be calling their names. Don't you know that you are this, you are that? I'm talking, you are talking. Are they not human beings? The era of children were to be seen and not to be heard has gone. Learners are to be seen and to be heard. They help us. My learners are helping me. Seriously. When I have anything to do, I call on my PhD student, please do this. An assignment for you. And they come, I vet it. I tell them, you are not doing this well. You are not doing. That's how I was taught. I remember one of my lecturers, Professor Akimbote, University of Ibadan. I did my PhD UI. Professor Akimbote will tell you, go and mark these scripts. Before you mark the script, he will tell you to go and prepare. He will give you question paper. Go and produce a marking guide, marking scheme. We will sit down together. Baba will look at it and say, Olalani, don't you know that this one is too much for them? Are they not part-time students? You know, things like that. At least I borrowed that, and I'm still using it from till today. I borrowed it from him. When I give my students things, we do it together. We don't just ask them to go and do it, and you say, okay, they've done it. You still correct something. And there's something I have learned from one of my senior colleague in University of Ilorin, Professor Henry Owolabi. Let all of you, 20 of you, put your heads together, construct something, and give it to Henry Owolabi to endorse. He will still put a red pen there. You will be angry that our garbage we've written this well. He said that even if it is comma, I must put comma there. And he told us that don't call yourself a lecturer at any level, a teacher at any level, that your learners will bring something for you and you endorse. Good, 100%. Prove that you are a teacher. There will be something like there's no comma here, there's supposed to be full stop here, that you must do. That is what we should do. That is what makes us leaders. It is not the cane in our hand that makes us leaders. It is not the charisma that we carry. I'm a lecturer here. When I say sit down, nobody must stand up. No. Your learners must know you. A few weeks ago, when my students were describing, they said, we know you, this is your style. I don't give what is your name to my students. You can just coin it, your genealogy or whatsoever. I give them logical questions. And you know, when they were now saying it, I sat there, they were just saying that, we know you, man. We know this lecturer too. They must know us. When they are looking at us afar, they cannot learn from us. We should not turn ourselves to think God. Please, next slide, are we there? Okay. The urgent need, I've been talking about that one. You know, there's an urgent need for us as teachers. Whether you are in training, whether you are already in the field, please, let's begin to look both inwardly and outwardly. Say, look, let's think outside the box. There's a mistake some of us have made. I have a job. My profession is good. It can feed me. No, it's not working alone. It's not working again. Mono-income earners. I always tell my learners, when you come to school, I'm the Faculty of Education, I'm to teach you education, but you must think of how to make more money from different avenues, legit money. It may be physical money, it may be online money, but to make money aside of salary, 30 days make one pay, or 31 days make one pay. It's ruining people now, seriously. It's not taking anybody anywhere. So please, let's build our learners to think that they must do this. And when we are talking about transformation, to be a leader, what are the things we are looking into? As teachers, we should not be complacent. I know everything. At least I have my PhD. When you have your PhD, you are just starting. I can remember very well 2011, I have my PhD from University of Ibadan. I was still teaching in a secondary school. You know that time, when they called, they will call, go and call Olalani. Principal will call me, a Greek, come and look at it. Physical and net, come and look at it. Are you not a PhD holder? Everything PhD holder. PhD holder, as a PhD holder, you don't have monopoly of wisdom. You too, you explore, you think and you research. But we must be doing this kind of a thing that we are doing today. Continuous professional growth. How do we do that? Go for seminar or organize seminars. Even you can organize for the younger ones, for the maybe newly recruited teachers, or for your postgraduate students. Showcase what you think you know. You can do free lectures. Through that, you know whether you are there or you are not there. When they call for your conferences, go. Go for a workshop, go for round table, go for things like that. Through that, you are building yourself, you are promoting yourself, and you are building others. And at the same time, I have the innovation and adaptability. How do you do innovation? How do you innovate? Like I've said, in my own school, now this is 2025-2026 session. Don't use the lesson notes or material you used last year, the 2024-2025 session. Change it. At times when I get to class, I will see my new students. They will bring notes. I will be asking them, where do you see? They say from last session. I will smile. You just see resemblance. I will change everything from table of content to the last. They will not look alike. The meaning may be the same, but they will not be. So that when you are teaching in class, they will not be reading the last notes you've given to their predecessors. You change the format. That makes them to come to your class. In my school, I'm from University of Ilorin, not too far from this place. When I call class for 8 o'clock, at least by 7:45, you will have seen 75% of my learners in the class. I know I'm going against the university rule. I don't take attendance. Because I tell myself they are university undergraduates. If you like my class, you come. By telling your students, I'm taking attendance, you are compelling them to come to your class. Just leave leave it open. Don't take attendance. Don't tell them that you are just taking attendance. When they like your class, they will come. What do I want to do with your attendance? The day I will give you CA, I will announce. I will tell you, I will give CA. So when you are lecturing, when you are teaching at any level, don't use attendance as a threat to anybody. Just go to class. When they like your class, they will come. So you develop yourself, like training like this. When you come, you take something new. You'll be a better person when you get to class. Develop yourself. And what is it? You see, in service, what do? Your colleagues must know that you are somebody. At times, I go to Faculty of Arts. I have friends there. Can we write papers together? Can we do this together? And that is what you should be doing for your learners as well. Put boys and girls, put them together to do a project. Put the slow and the upcoming one and the good ones, put them together to get to projects. You know them in class. At times you do it by their matric number, but I felt it was not working well. At times I'll tell them to ballot. I give them assignments that must bring all of them together. I've done it before. I just got to class. I told them, everybody stand up. Go and sit down beside the person that is wearing the color of your dress. If you are putting on black, look for somebody that is putting on black. Sit beside the person. You know, some of them say, we have not been talking. How will you be in class? 100 level, 200 level, 300 level. You've not been talking. You know, normally education class is usually a general class, big, large class. But at the same time, find a way of bringing them together, integrating them. Let them be friends. They will develop the society. At times, I'll look at the society. I've told somebody before, I said teachers are not doing what they are supposed to do. Honestly speaking, we are not there yet. We are not doing what we are supposed to do. Because when I see these people at the park, when I see these rapists, when I see whatsoever, I wonder, have they not gone to school before? When we look at blue taxonomy is just like when you are reading Bible or Quran, from beginning to the end, from Genesis to Revelation. Everything is embedded in blue taxonomy. The cognitive is the only one majority of us as teachers we key into. That boy is brilliant. After the brilliancy, what next? The physical activity, skill, empathy, and whatever. Zero. So as teachers, when we are building our learners, please don't let us see them as they are brilliant alone. When I was still teaching in secondary school, there was this particular girl in my class. She used to be very, very quiet. So we now had inter-house sports. During the inter-house sport day, I saw this girl. She was jumping up and down. Ogun, Ogun. She was in Ogun house. Embracing the people, athletes in her house. This girl was so smart. So I was like, so this girl could be this smart like this. And now to the person that sat beside me, I said, look at this girl. That she used to be very quiet in the class. And they said, and the person mentioned her name, that's her life. But I said, this girl is very active. So after the inter-house sport, I called the girl. I told her, I said, come. I saw you on the field. I saw the way you were doing. I encouraged her. So let's bring something out from our learners. We should not just zero our minds. That one cannot do anything. There is no human being that doesn't have a gift. There is a gift deposited in you as a being. So please, we are the ones to help our learners. We are parents. We have our children in some schools. But the profession that we are is to look after other people's children, including our children. So we must dictate things for them. Their parents are so busy. In the house I live, there is a school that shares a fence with my building, a nursery and primary school. As early, I'm telling you, as early as 7 a.m., you will have seen children speaking in that school. Primary school pupils. Meaning their parents are so busy. So when their parents are busy, we should not be too busy to look after them. As teachers, please write report for parents. Thank God we have this. We have what do you call it? Class platform. You can send messages to parents. Please watch your daughter. She seems to be this. Just simple. Though some parents will not accept, but you are the one that is taking care of the children. You know them. So please, those are the things we must be doing. And we renew our commitment to learner success. How do we do that? When we renew our commitment to learner success, I've said it in passing with what I say. You know, it's not only first position, second position. For example, in university, you don't give first position. There's something I so much like with the University of Ilorin. When I got there, they said, we still do it. We have some people, we call them scholars. When you have that, that means you are the best in the class, like first position. And when I got to University of London, they used to give them 250,000 naira every session as a scholar. You know, very, very encouraging. Very, very encouraging. Entitled to 250, entitled to accommodation, free accommodation. You know, people will be struggling to be scholars. So we as teachers, that's what we should be doing. We encourage them. I don't know whether in our institution we have something we call level advisors. When I was lecturing in academic college, we used to call ourselves path advisors. Path advisors, you call them, you know them, let them come to you. My own students, you know, normally I would just have a talk with them. Rep, I need to see you. Maybe today is Monday, I'll give them time. Maybe Thursday, when are you free? I want to see them. And free period, we'll talk together. I sit in their midst. Please tell me your problem. Some of them will come out from their shells. Some of them will not. But at least you know you fulfilled righteousness. You've done what you should do as a level advisor. You are not just to go there to tell them, read. If you like, don't read. No. Let's encourage them. You see, this thing we take around now, telephone, is a destroyer of future for some people. So we have to tell them. Some of them will be reading from their phone. They will see distraction. That distraction will come. But when we hammer it to them, let them know that you have distraction on this. When we go to our libraries, we don't see students in libraries again. They don't go to school libraries again. We should encourage them. We should encourage them to go to library. Let them go and do research. Let them go and get papers. So there was a time told where someone told me that, mommy, in the library they have obsolete books. I said, go and read the obsolete books. By reading the books, you too can write your own. Please, let's build them. Let's encourage them. The next slide. Thank you. We are talking about traditional classroom. You know, I said something that in the past, people like Awolowo and the like, even when you see, when we are talking about the successful people in Nigeria today, I think Afe Babalola is one of them. Afe Babalola was product of talk and chalk class. Class like this, face me, I face your teacher. And the teacher was the alpha and the omega in the class. I suffered in a trig class, mathematics class. We used to trigonometry or whatever. Our lecturer then will come to class. He will face the board and he will be writing everything. The y, the x, the v, the u is equal to. You will not be wondering. Before you write anything, you will have cleaned the board and write. Because he knew it. He was not carrying us along. When I was in secondary school, I thought I liked maths. But when I got to tertiary institution, I hated maths with passion. Because of one singular person I met. And trig became a problem for us. And he said trig. They say, trig. You know, even the fear of trig will make you to have E or D in the exam. So the era has gone now. This is not the era of teacher going to class facing like this. You are the only one. You know everything. Allow them to talk. That's why it is not teacher-centered again. It is learner-centered. I don't write when I go to class. I don't write at all. Even when I was teaching in secondary school, my senior class from SS1, I would tell them, you must get your spellings right. Write this. You will not expect me to tell you in SS3 where to put punctuation marks. What I pronounce tell you that the next thing is comma and the last one is full stop. You see, we should not be writing for them. We should not be thinking for them. A young girl got admission to secondary school at age 8. She used to be very brilliant when she was in primary school. And at age 8, she was given admission to secondary school. She went to private school, private primary school. And when she got to secondary school, she started making mockery of her parents, not that girl's mockery. Because primary school, private school for that matter, they will ask, have you all written it? Your teachers will not clean the board until the last person has finished. But in secondary school, who waits for anybody? You are teaching mathematics, English teacher is ready to come in, and they must clean the board. So when you are building these ones, let them know age also matters. It matters, it's a maturity in education. I like what JAM is doing now. And you are not a certain, where you're up to certain age, you don't write exam. I know it might not work. Our private schools might not allow it to work, but at least it will have effect to certain level. A level is there for brilliant students. Someone was asking me, a child wrote JAM and did not pass. So the woman now called me, can the boy write can he do IGMB? I said, do you know what the meaning of IGMB? IGMB is not for O level, it's an advance. But you know that is what our students are doing now. Because their parents don't want them to stay at home. May I ask, why don't we want our children to stay with us at home? They are doing, what do you call it? Admission exercise in my school. Every day, parents will be calling, crying, please now help us. Ask, how old is your child? 16 years. Where was I when I was 16 years? And let me ask you, where were many of us when we were 16 years old? But now we want them. Immediately they are giving birth to, they should go to university and finish. A renowned person has a chamber Our daughter, a lawyer, cannot be in her chamber. Why? She said that let her go and learn somewhere. So she cannot manage your chamber, she cannot manage your firm. So please, as parents, let's be there for our learners. We are talking about professionally trained personnel. You see, this is a class. Look at the teacher. Ideally, teachers, you are meant to look at your learners face to eye. They see you. They are your friend. There is a portion here I ask, who is a teacher? Please, do we have non-teacher in the class, in the house? You are not a teacher, you are here. Please. You are not a teacher. We are all teachers. That's lovely. I always like my talk, whether it's a keynote or whatever. I do interactive class. I like it so much because I want to learn as well. I want to take something home. The other time, someone asked a question. Nobody answered. Our ladies, they asked questions. Teachers, we are not timid. We are bold. Please say it the way you can say it. You know, I was wondering. I can't remember the question they asked. Two of them. Nobody answered. Professor Noah, I wanted to ask you. I wanted to call you, but no, I wanted to call you sir. Yes, sir. So I was saying, who is a teacher? So let me come to Professor Noah. Let me ask you, who are you as a teacher, sir? Who are you as a teacher? Yes, sir. Yeah. No. Who are you?
I'm somebody who impacts vicariously or non-vicariously.
Hey, when you go today, please kindly simplify it. Come to our level.
I impact either directly or by covert learning. Somebody wants to be like what I'm trying to teach, and he goes ahead to learn it because I've taught it.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thanks so much. You know, that is a style of a teacher. When you see that somebody is no more in your class, you now engage the person. I saw that Professor Noah was about to leave. So that's when I now engaged him to tell us who is a teacher. You know, anywhere you find yourself as a teacher, don't tell anybody you are disturbing my class. Don't tell anybody you are sleeping in my class. Just engage the person. As a person, I always ask myself, who is a teacher? And my learners' friends ask, my name is Olalani, from University of Ilorin. You know, I am their friends. Some of my colleagues will be saying, your office is always full of learners. I say, well, if they are not here, I can't be here. No students, no institution. No learners, no university. If they are not here, I will not be here. Mama Bamishaye and Bamishaye taught me when I was in University of Ibadan. As a teacher, you have 3 sets of children. Your academic children, your environmental children, and your biological children. Mama told us that your academic children are the #1 because they are the one giving you food. Because I am teaching, that's why I can wear what I am wearing today. I have money through them. So why will you now go to class and be calling them different stupid names? I said something that I ask. When I look at our society, full of different human beings, when you are carrying your bag, you carry your bag with fear. When you are walking, you walk as if somebody is about to chase you or something. Teachers are not doing what we are supposed to do. Please. We are not doing what we are supposed to do. In a class where you teach, don't steal. Stealing is bad. They will still steal biscuits. They will still steal pencils. So what are we now teaching? So please, when we are talking about 21st century teachers as leaders, we are talking about yourself and myself. As a teacher in any community, you are already a leader. By virtue of the title, you are a teacher, you are a leader. Your community must respect you. Any association you belong, they must respect you. Wherever you are, they must respect you. You know, doctors like to marry teachers. Engineers like to marry teachers. Engineers, they like to marry teachers. Doctors, they like to marry teachers. Because they know that we are home builders. So please, as we go, let's modify our behaviors ourselves before we start accusing our learners. Teachers don't buy on credit. Teachers must be neat. Let's be neat. You don't gossip. Because you are the pilot in your class. By the time you look at this one is talking with this one is smiling in your class. You will not do what you are supposed to do in the class. You must concentrate, build them, love them. Anytime I go to any class, I just see everybody there as my friend. If you are my friend, I will not beat you. If you are my friend, I will not call you a dirty name. So as a teacher, you are a philosopher. You project into your learner's future that you will be a nurse. You'll be a good doctor. Things like that. That's what we should be doing as teachers. So once again, they've been telling me I should round up what I have. Please, can I have that? The last one. Yeah. Can I have it? So please, when I see our colleagues, the lawyers, when they are saying they are learned fellows, I smile. I say, we taught you. The ABC, we taught you makes you who you are today. So when they are saying subsection 3 of subsection whatsoever, you too quote your national policy on education. Tell them. That is teacher. Igele so jigbini, igelo so gbinini. Thanks so much. That is the person you are as a teacher. You have different tentacles. So when you see that doctor, be happy, I made him. When you see the successful lawyer, be happy that you are in the person's life. So igele so jigmininiwa. So the poem we were taught when we were in primary school, I can't remember it very well. As a teacher, please be careful so that they will not rub mud on your whites. You will not be stained. I know some people will know it here. Igele so ni emi, ẹ̀yin èrò tó lọ tó ń bọ̀, ẹ yà kẹ́ wá mú lórí mi. Ṣùgbọ́n ẹ̀bẹ̀ kan ni mo bẹ̀ yín, ẹ má ṣe tì mí ṣubú. You know, as a teacher, don't let anybody pull you down. What are they going to give you? Your learners will tell you, if you can do it, can they give you 1 million? They can't. The best, even our PhD students, what do they give? They will bring envelope. Put 10,000 maximum there. I'm not making mouth. I'm in University of Ilorin. Ask them. I don't collect. When you are still under that my tutelage, don't give me anything. When you finish, build house, I will enter into it and leave. Buy car, I will accept it. Because when they give you and you saw your hand, you are no more igele so jigmini. You are no more that tree that bears fruit. God will continue with us. Thank you so much for the opportunity. I'm grateful.
Thank you so much, Ma. If you're clapping, can you do that better? Let's give a big round of applause for Dr. Eniola Keji Ola Alani for that transformative and inspiring section. I mean, I learned a lot. She said quite a number of things, how that teachers have to be dynamic, how that you have to be inspirational, how that you have to be innovative and creative. We are 21st century teachers, so we have to do things differently. So are we making a commitment as teachers, as educators, that we are going to do this differently? If you are going to do it differently, can you give yourself a big round of applause? Amazing. Thank you once again, Ma. We appreciate you. CLC 2025. No, we are doing that again. TLC is Teachers Leadership Conference 2025. So when I say TLC 2025, we are going to say the team together. TLC 2025. Amazing. Amazing. We want to recognize the presence of Mr. Olu Muyiwa Olutusing, who is the Secretary of God's Sufficiency City of Hope Foundation. Please, can we acknowledge him? Welcome, sir. We celebrate you. Up next, for the next 20 minutes, we have our next speaker, and he's going to be speaking on early childhood educators as change agents. Ladies and gentlemen, we are honored to have with us a man whose name commands great respect in the field of education. Professor A.O.K. Noah is a renowned professor of education and a distinguished early childhood educator with over 3 decades of dedicated service to the advancement of teaching and learning in Nigeria. He also served as the acting Vice Chancellor of the Lagos State University, LASU, where his leadership, scholarship, and passion for education made a lasting impact. Can you imagine the wealth of knowledge and experience we're about to gain from him today? So please get your notepads and pens ready, because we're about to learn from one of the best. With a sounding clap ovation, please let's make welcome Professor A.O.K. Noah. Keep on clapping. Keep on clapping. Welcome, sir.
This is the one you want us to use, okay? You may go. When we day for our mama na teacher, when we day for school, teacher na teacher. When we day for university, lecturer na teacher. When we day for government, na culture and tradition. Waiting go change culture and tradition, na science and technology. Please, you may be seated. I just try to imitate Fela Kuti, and it is this. All the people Fela told us are teachers. There are no more teachers. What we teach all of us is technology. What we teach all of us is science. If we want to become change makers, which is what you have asked me to speak about, the world is changing at twice the whole rate, twice the speed of time of science itself. Today, what teaches all of us is globalization. And the second thing that teaches all of us is what is called Science Plus or Universal Plus. All that we do in current classrooms are simply asking for the direction of change. How do we prepare our children? How do we move society itself forward? Not too long in Benin, there was a company called Afam & Co. Afam & Co. will get good workers, but will refuse to pay them sufficient money. And eventually, anytime they advertise for workers, people will not go to Afam & Co. And the workers, prospective workers, will ask them, who want to go and work in Afam & Co place? Because you go and work for Afam & Co, you work so well and you are not paid. You just go and work and dash away your energy. Among the Igbos of southeastern Nigeria, there is this dictum that Mbadiwe's work is Akwago work. That is, when you go to Mbadiwe's house, he gives you a lot of work to do. You write letters for him. He was a lawyer. But when you want to leave, we will say thank you. He doesn't pay you anything. And so people refuse to do Mbadiwe's work. To be able to have change in what we do in education and in the life of the teacher, government must wake up. Government can no longer make teachers do Afam & Co work. We want to appeal to the people in the Ministry of Education that they should concentrate on early childhood education more specifically. I want to directly say they should give the nation an early childhood education commission. This is the missing thing in the leg of our education. If you do not take care of your children, you'll be toying with your future. How do you toy with your future? It is this. It is our children who will succeed us and who will survive us. They are the ones to continue the wars that we have started today, and they will do the war tomorrow. A month ago, the Soviet Union was still at war with Ukraine, but the president of the Soviet Union said, Russia said, we are going to establish 1,000 Soviet missile institutes starting from age 4 schools in industrial settings. They have established 600 and is now looking for scientists to teach those children. There are 400 left. The last interview he granted, they asked him, why subject children to warfare knowledge? He said, we have lost virtually 3/4 of our pilot fighters in the Soviet Union due to the war we are fighting with Ukraine. Our children will no longer be good fighters, jet fighter pilots, because the future we are giving to them is a future we have not prepared for. We appeal using these very isolated examples from the Soviet war to say, let Nigerian government pay attention to early childhood education. In the state of Israel, once you are 16 years old, they put you in the Aeronautic Institute. You go home to your parents only when the pilots ask you to go and play. I stayed in Kibbutz Misra for about 6 months, and I see underage children by Nigerian standard come to drop bomb on the soccer field. And once they have hit their target, they go back to base and drive down to the kibbutz. What were the targets they are hitting? They put handkerchiefs on the soccer field and label them. If you are pilot 1, they say hit handkerchief 1, under 14 children. Where are they who will fight for Nigeria in future? Today, JAMB is saying at 16, you can't enter the university. You can never rise for your own Israel. When is your time to come to the aid of your country? We appeal to the government, give us the give us the Early Childhood Education Commission, because they are the ones who can insist on the shortcomings that we have. Mothers no longer teach. Teachers no longer teach. Go to schools and ask for what I call the black book. Several teachers are in the black book today. Even when they pretend they are teaching computer, they are teaching nonsense in the computer room. These are stories that we are familiar with. The future of this nation belongs to early childhood educators. They are the ones who can salvage us. Because if you don't teach them properly and encourage them properly, and you want to pay them a pharmaco salary, 30,000, 25,000 per month, 10,000 on that basis, you will discover that nobody is teaching your children effectively in both private and public institutions. The commission will come and regularize this thing, please. If you must have good early childhood educators who will be change makers, you must put it in the condition of admission that a candidate trying to read early childhood education must be computer literate and must be so certified before he comes in year 1 or year 2 or even at the certificate level. There are several people who, because they want to be commissioners, they want to go to the Ministry of Education, they want to be in special services, they come and do diploma in early childhood education. No. It must be in their original certifications for what they want to do for their country. As change makers, the interactive capabilities of the teachers must improve. Alvin Toffler, 1983, has taught us that we are living in the second wave of the world. Those who are moving into the fourth and the fifth industrial revolutions are the people themselves who are entrepreneurially well-guided, and people themselves who do not need computer assistance, and people who will not go and copy ChatGPT to do their final year projects. If we are still at that level, we are not yet appropriately educated to take on the world. We are not yet the teacher educators we expect for the future. Several of your students will come to defeat you in class if you cannot interact by Zoom with them. Nobody wants to stay in the middle of the class talking like an Almanjiri or a Malan, and you go with a long stick, you want to maintain order. No. There are several teachers I've met in the world who taught from the comfort of their toilets. Yes, because technology has changed the world. We are now in a postmodern age. The age where we say, what does it all add up to in the scientific context? To be change maker, you must live at the mode 2 level of knowledge. Not the knowledge like Professor Noah, who knows only anthropology, who knows only sociology, and can only progress from that level. No. The world of the future is one in which the teacher and the students are visually lying side by side on the same bed through technology. It does not need to be separated from the teacher. The child no longer needs to be a distant relation of the teacher, because the world has moved beyond those levels. Change agents we all want to be, but what are the things that are prerequisites to being effective change agents? Number one, effective time management to nature. We must not accept that we are teachers, so we are subservient to nature. No, we are masters of nature. You should leave the class that will say, once there is rainbow in the sky, you cannot go in a direction. No. What does traditional practices hold? Once the rainbow is in the sky, it says the leopard is giving birth, and you should not go in that direction. You don't want to be killed. Is there a scientific explanation for it? Have you been there and you've seen the leopard giving birth? So you must move beyond ordinary thinking, move to science plus. That is what changes the world of the teacher. The third thing is this: the other person. Your attitude to the other person must be positive. You have never met a man, you say, the way he dressed is looking like a thief. You may not be right. You say, the way the woman came into your classroom, she was looking like a person who made her money from rituals. No. You cannot profile the other person from your perception. You have to live and move to the world of show me, or what they call the Missouri life. Show me. Demonstrate it that this woman is a ritualist, this woman is a cultist. There must be empirical evidence for your suppositions about that person. Those three conditions will be your prerequisite for being a change agent. Thank you, and thank you for listening.
Please, a round of applause again for our professor. Thank you so much, sir. That was an inspiring one, and I learned a lot, and I hope you all did as well. Thank you, sir, for reminding us that early childhood education is an integral part of the education system in Nigeria. Thank you, sir. We're grateful. So I've noticed that we're a bit relaxed, and we want us to shake up our bodies a bit. We're going to be playing a short game, a very quick one. Yes. So, Osas, over to you.
Amazing. Okay, so are we together?
Are we sleeping? Okay,
We're
great.
active. Okay, so I'm going to ask a question. And if you fit into the category, you would basically raise your right hand. Very simple. Okay, so raise your right hand if you've taught for more than 10 years.
Whoa.
Okay, amazing. Raise your right hand if you've ever had a student call you dad or mom.
Nice.
Okay, amazing. Raise your right hand if you marked scripts last night, like you had scripts to mark. Last night, before coming here.
Please, a round of applause for
celebrate
yourselves.
Amazing.
Oh, they are marking scripts here.
You're even marking here.
Wow.
Please, let's celebrate ourselves, teachers. You are doing amazing. Okay, I love that we are loosening up a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to go to the next phase of the game. And for this one, it's still quite similar to the former. Okay, so you're going to raise one hand if you love morning classes.
Morning classes.
Morning classes, okay.
So let's switch it.
Let's switch it. 2 hands if you prefer afternoon classes.
So
Is
I
it-
think morning classes have. Wow.
Amazing. Okay, so raise one hand if you would still prefer chalkboard.
Or whiteboard.
Chalkboard.
Wow. So nobody.
We are digital now, you
Please,
know.
let's celebrate ourselves. We are really 21st century teachers. Please.
Amazing. So for the last one, raise your hand if you're a strict teacher. You're strict. Oh,
Wow.
okay. And raise 2 hands if you're a fun teacher.
Oh.
Oh, we have more fun teachers in the house. Amazing.
Amazing.
Okay, raise one hand if you balance both.
So
Okay.
mixture of strict and mixture of
Fun.
fun. Nice.
Please, let's celebrate ourselves. We are doing amazing. Thank you.
Thank you so much for taking time out to do that game. So everyone now, we're going to be connecting to our social media handle. So if you know you're on Instagram, please wave your hands up. Instagram, oh nice. Facebook, okay, I think Facebook is more. LinkedIn, oh great. So how many of us are following Wholistic Edu-Consult on Facebook? Nobody. Very good. So please, we're going to bring out our phones out and follow on Facebook, Wholistic Edu-Consult. And if it's on Instagram, please you follow Wholistic Edu-Consult. Are we doing that? Are we doing that? Should do one. Okay. Please follow us on all our social media platforms. Facebook, on Instagram, and on LinkedIn. You know, the previous speaker said something about the 21st century teacher. So if you know you are a 21st century teacher, you should be on LinkedIn. How many of us agree? Exactly. We have to be on LinkedIn. So if you're on LinkedIn, please follow Olubumi Messi Odiaka on LinkedIn, because we need to stay connected. We're going to be sharing a lot of future updates, trainings, and opportunities. So we would like you to be a part of it so that you can always get the information firsthand. And we have a Mirror podcast coming up very soon. It's going to be an exciting one. We're going to announce the date very quickly. So that's why you need to join our social media handles, because it will be shared on that platform. It's a podcast titled Mirror Podcast. And it's a platform where we bring in professionals. So it can be from different spheres of life. We can bring doctors, engineers, artists, and more. But the good thing about the podcast is once you are in that seat, you are a teacher. So you can imagine how very beautiful it's going to be. So please follow our social media handles so you will not miss out on this podcast. The maiden edition will be starting, and like I said, you have to follow our social media platform. How many of us have followed? I want to see hands. Oh, great, great, great. Thank you so much. A round of applause for yourselves again. A round of applause for yourselves. Thank you so much.
Amazing. Okay, so we are still speaking on the trainings, and I believe that most of us have followed Wholistic Consult. Did I hear no? Or did I hear wait for me? So please, if you've not done that, kindly do that right away. Okay, so I'm going to highlight the trainings that take place at Wholistic Consult. So at Wholistic Edu-Consult, we have a range of professional trainings for teachers and schools, and they include child psychology, emotional intelligence, phonics, phonetics, and diction prowess, elocution, and voice-over training for children. So it's important that if you are interested in any of these trainings, or if you would like to invite the team, please contact Pastor Mrs. Olubumi Mercy Odiaka. And for more details, kindly note down this contact, 080-622-17588. I repeat, 080-622-17588. Please do not hesitate to reach out. We'll be glad to connect with you. Amazing. All right.
Yes, thank you so much. So we're going to be bringing up our next speaker very, very quickly. Okay, I think before we bring up our next speaker, we should do a video. We're going to be doing a quick video. Or before we do the video, we also want to recognize the presence of Professor R.O. Okuneye. Please, a warm applause for him. You're welcome, sir. You're welcome, sir.
You're welcome, sir. We would really appreciate if you can kindly come forward. Please, let's celebrate. Let's celebrate him. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Thank you so much, sir. All right. Before we bring up our next speaker, do we know that tomorrow, 11th of October, is International Day of the Girl Child?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so we're going to do a short video. Okay. Media, are we ready? We want to create a short video for the International Day of the Girl Child. Okay, so it's going to be a call and response. Okay.
Okay, so we'll all have to rise. I think the women should rise, but then the men can also support us if they want to. So we can do this video quickly.
Men supporting women.
Yes.
You know?
Men supporting women. So here's how we'll do it. I'm going to say, the girl I am, and you'll respond with, the change I need. Should I take that again? Okay. The girl I am. Oh, perfect. Good. So together we will say, girls on the front lines of crisis. Please, we need to rise.
Please, kindly
Please,
be on
we
your
need to
feet.
rise.
And please, we have to smile. This video has to come out well. International Day of the Girl Child. So please put a smile on your face and let's have a video.
So we can just do a quick practice.
Quick
Yes. The girl I am.
The change I need.
And together. Okay, don't worry, I'm going to say it again. So thank God it's a rehearsal. So when I said the girl I am, you say, the change I lead. Then together we'll say, girls on the front lines of crisis. Yes, crisis. That's the theme for the International Day of the Girl Child. Yes.
Girls on front lines of crisis.
Are we good? Okay, so we're going to take the rehearsal again. The girl I am,
I lead.
and together, girls on the front lines of crisis. Amazing. Please put your hands together for yourselves. Media, are we good? Or we'll take it again? Oh, great. Okay. So I call the girl I am.
The change I lead.
Girls together.
Girls
On the front line of crisis. Oh, we didn't get that. One more time. Okay. So this time we have to be ready. Are we ready? Oh, great. The girl I am.
The change I lead.
And together, girls on the front line of crisis. Thank you so much. Wow. Celebrate yourselves, please. Thank you. Please, may please be seated. Are we enjoying ourselves? I can't hear responses. Are we having a good time? If you're having a good time, I want you to shout out loud, say, yeah. Oh, okay, that's good. So very, very quickly, we're going to bring up our speaker for the next session. You know, before we started the event, we said that it's going to be an engaging session. And we still have the panelist session coming up. So please, if you know you have questions, please note down your questions so that we have our speakers that are going to take them. Thank you so much. So ladies and gentlemen, our speaker is a phenomenal leadership expert, someone who truly embodies what it means to lead with vision, purpose, and passion, both within and beyond the four walls of the classroom. She is a world-class family and parenting coach. She is on a journey of transformation and loves to take as many as possible alongside a journey of growth in today's world. She's an emotional intelligence practitioner, the COO at Edu-Consult Synergy, a Maxwell certified behavioral analyst. She's a speaker, she's a coach, and she leads the Women and Children Ministry of RCCG Continent 3, covering some regions in Lagos State, Ogun State, and the Middle East. She is a mass communication graduate from Olabisi Onombanjo University and a graduate of emotional intelligence from the Emotion City. She loves to create and initiate things, which led her to establish Insight Creative, which is a space and a design outfit. She is passionate about family and marriages. She's the convener of Wilcon Women in Leadership Conference and a partner with the biggest leadership conference in Lagos State, Live to Lead, in partnership with renowned leadership expert worldwide, Sir John Maxwell. Ololade Akonde is married to the phenomenal BC Akonde, who is the inspirer, and they have blessed with 3 wonderful children. She will be taking us on the topic, leadership beyond the classroom. As a teacher, we know that your leading is not just in the classroom, it is beyond that. So please, with a round of applause, kindly make welcome the coach, Ololade Akonde. We welcome you, ma. Thank you so much, ma. Thank you, ma.
Good afternoon, everybody. All protocols observed. Thank you for having me in the house this morning or this afternoon. Sitting up there, I've been around over an hour ago, and I just quietly sat there so that I can observe. I can unlearn and relearn, which I have been able to do this afternoon. It's been an amazing session all through. I learned from a person from the University of Ilorin and from the other speaker that just finished just now. And it's been an amazing time of learning. So today I have a privilege of talking to us on leading beyond the classroom, which talks about influence and impact. Living beyond, teaching or leading beyond the classroom. So it's a privilege and an honor for me to be here. You know, when they speak about teachers, it was in those days that they said the reward of a teacher is in heaven. I don't think that's so anymore, am I right? Why? Because we've been able to understand the terrain and make things happen. Like I was sharing with somebody who is also a teacher. I'm a coach. That makes me a teacher. Anybody who passes information to you is teaching you something. So whether in a formal or in an informal way, we all occupy the role of a teacher. In your home as a parent, you are a teacher. It's just that in an informal setting, you are passing information, you're passing knowledge, you're passing it across to people. So I don't take it for granted because it's a privilege. It's a privilege to be able to shape and mold destinies. We don't only hold markers and chalk and then have our work plan, our lesson notes, but to teach beyond the class is to have at the back of your mindset that what I'm doing is for posterity and creating a legacy. Because the information that is being imprinted on the people you're teaching goes beyond the wall of the classroom. And so today, before I take any of my teachings, I want us to watch this short video because it encapsulates everything I'm going to be talking about, and you will understand why. Can we have the video up, please? So how many of us can relate with what happened in that movie? So you see, teaching is the most powerful calling on earth. It's the purest form of leadership. And that's what we saw displayed there. And oftentimes where you are in that place, people perceive you to be stupid. People perceive you to be overdoing it. And you know, we are in a world where what people say to us matters a lot. And then we drop the things that are in our core for what people are saying. We saw that the closest person to her was her critic. So I'm sure in her waking up and her sleeping, the man was ringing it into her ears that you were just wasting our money. But you see, you are a cumulative total of your net worth. Those children were her net worth. She bought one a $200 bicycle. And the question I asked myself was, what has the classroom got to do with a missing bicycle? And that's why when the topic we were given that says teaching beyond the classroom, that means beyond what you teach in the four walls of the class, the life of each of your students should matter to you. So beyond your subjects, beyond your time allocated to teach them, how are they faring outside the classroom? And that's where I'm just going to do a summary of this, because this video just encapsulates everything we have come here to do. Because that woman connected with those children. And that was why they could remember her. There were some of them she didn't remember. You know, she was telling her husband, or the husband was accusing her, I said, the letters won't pay your bills. But she had engraved her kindness in the heart of each of those children. The money she got was more than what she needed for the foreclosure. I had a mathematics teacher. I don't know how many of you is in the call, but I wasn't a fan of mathematics. I can never forget his name. His name is Mr. Bankole. And this was way back about 32 years ago. I had several other teachers, but I would never forget Mr. Bankole. He was my mathematics teacher. I struggled with mathematics. I managed and I got a pass. At least I didn't fail. I didn't say they gave me a pass. You know, when you don't do well, you say they gave me. But I got a pass. But every time Mr. Bankole walked into the class, because he believed in me and kept on telling me, Lolade, you can do this. Lolade, you are better than this when I make mistakes. It propelled me not to want to disappoint Mr. Bankole when he's in the class. Why? Because I saw someone who thought or saw in me something I didn't see in myself. So he was teaching us something one day, and I was not just getting it. And then I started crying. And he was right, and he said, what is flogging that person crying there? And the class murmured and said, it's mathematics. I can say it confidently that I would have failed maths in WAEC. But because Mr. Bankole believed in me, I put in an extra effort to want to be the best that I could so that I wouldn't disappoint him. Until tomorrow, I can remember Mr. Bankole when he walks into the class. If I can picture a joke or a word that he said, and I can remember the color of the dress he was wearing, I can guarantee you that in my mind's eye, I can remember everything Mr. Bankole wrote on the board. Because I imagine as he entered, I imagine as he was making jokes, I imagine as he was making explanation on the board, and that was what helped me. why there was a connection. So we are not in that classroom just to teach. Our teaching is being reinforced by having a connect with each of those children. And for you to have that connection, you must have an understanding that your teaching practice is a calling. It's not a mistake that you are in this profession. It's not a mistake that you are assigned to the children you are assigned to at that time. So until you have an understanding that this is a call, we might not handle it in the way and manner we ought to handle it. Your teaching platform or your teaching career is a platform for leadership transformation. The last speaker here was saying something about going to the ministry and emphasizing on the early child development. Why? Because whatever you put into them in that early years is a foundation to carry whatever they are also going to learn after that time. So we must understand that it is a platform for transformation and to create a legacy. So if we have that at the back of our mind, we will understand that leadership is influence and not a position. You can be my leader. And we all say it. You know, when somebody comes new, you say he's our leader. And then you say it is the leader. Then when the relationships get better, you say my leader. When you get to my leader, then you have accepted that person because there has been a connect. It takes a process of time. When the person came, you said, that's the leader they sent to us. That's the new head of department. That's the new, am I right? Then as you begin your journey, it becomes our leader. Our HOD. That means they sent him to us. You have begun to buy into him. Then when the relationship gets more intimate, then you say, that's my leader. In other words, whatever he says, I've been able to believe in his trust. I've been able to trust his decision making. I've been able to trust in his sincerity. I've been able to trust in his person. Then I can personalize it and say, that is my leader. And that's why we say leadership is influence. You can be the teacher. You can be our teacher and not be my teacher. But the day you become my teacher, then there is a connect. And there is a likelihood that I will take your word as you say it. And that's why you will have your children come home. Because I've had my children come home and I try to do homework with them. And my children will tell me, this is not how my teacher said I should do it. I don't know if we have encountered it. So when it gets to that, I say, you know, I went to school a long time ago. So maybe the formula your teacher is using to teach you, at that time, what their teacher has told them has become law, that your word does not hold water anymore. That teacher has been able to influence your child in areas where you cannot influence them. And that's why they can look you in the eye and tell you, that's not how it's done. Even when you are correct. Being a teacher is just a title. But you can move from just having a title to having influence. When you have influence with your person, it goes beyond authority. And that's when you'll be able to see them open up to you on things that are even beyond the classroom. Because they have been able to come to trust you. Your students don't forget you because you made them feel good. Maya Angelou says something. People will forget what you say to them, but they will never forget how you made them feel. How do you make your students feel when you're there in your class? You know, there are some teachers, when they come to the class, there's an excitement. There are some that they will keep quiet, like, do you understand? Don't you understand? But there are some teachers that will come to the class and the teachers will tell them, sir, please repeat, oh, sir, please. Are you such? Leadership is influence. Your confidence also is an inspiration to your students. How confident are you? The speaker from Ilori said quite a number of things. You must be neat. It builds confidence. A lot of things builds your confidence. Your competency builds your confidence. Number 2, you must see the bigger picture. You must see the bigger picture. Your career is to help us transform our mind. Our mindset must have a shift when there is an encounter with your class. We must be able to travel in our mind's eye when we encounter you in the class. You must be able to paint a picture for your students. That's when you can influence them. I had a teacher sometimes, and I asked him a question, and he said, I should go to my book, and that's how it is in the book. I lost interest in that course. Thank God it was an elective. If it was a course subject, I would do what we usually do. I will cram to pass. Because that's a lot that we do in this side of the world. Most of our students, we cram to pass. So I will burn the night candle, read, cram, and I do copy and paste. Leading beyond the classroom means expanding our mindset from teaching lessons to transforming lives. So why don't you make your class such that is interactive, that the children that you are teaching will remember what you're teaching them? Without your notes, they can write an answer. Not everyone is a fast learner. I have my daughter here with me. And she did something sometimes, and I said, I expect you to. And she sat me down. You know, like I tell them, I said, this dispensation has changed. I could tell her you did something, and she will sit me down and tell me why. Because I asked her to do something, and she did it wrongly. And I said, I expect you to have known this thing. And she said, but mommy, you never taught me. I can never tell my father or my mother, you never taught me. They will reset my head. So I said, what do you mean I never taught you? And she said, when I asked her to do it, she had to go to Google. So it was with Google she did what she presented to me. So I said, but you have seen me do these things over and over, and you were there. And she said, Mommy, maybe that's how you learn, but that's not how I learn. So for me, I learn by observation. Some children learn by observation, but not all children learn by observation. But we come to the class and teach them, and we expect all of them to catch it at once. Not all of them will catch it at once. And then we mark them and say, you are failed. You pass. You are average. But I learned now that they don't do that anymore in the early years. I even went to a school, and as we were going around, we saw some children playing, and they took them out of their classroom. There's this corridor here. They put color paints, and they removed their shoes, their socks. They put their legs and their hand in color paint, and they were sticking it on papers on the wall. So I asked, I said, They are teaching these ones. These ones are doing color paint. Did they pay different money? They said no. So why are these ones? They said right now, whatever they are teaching them, they cannot assimilate. So they needed to take them out of the classroom so they don't distract the ones that are still learning. Get them to explore and play. And after a while, they bring them. I said, okay, what you taught those ones that they have missed, how do they learn? They said when they are done, the teacher will sit down with them. You see that we were at a disadvantage when we were going to school. They just say, we load do. Because that's what my father will tell you. He will ask, how many of you are in the class? You say 20. The person that came first, does he have 2 heads? That's what they will ask. Am I right? They say, so why are you they're teaching you and you are not assimilating? My father asked a question of my younger ones and I said, how many are the friends in your group? I said, okay, we are 7. He said, so who is the brightest among them? So I said, I said, okay, me, I'm good in government. I'm good in accounting. I said, Bimbo is good in. Then my kid sister said, I'm the best. He said, well, Lolo, you are the dullest in that your class. Why? Because if you are the brightest in that class, you are not supposed to be in that class. Because you won't grow. Because in your eye, you are the best among your peers. But if you are put in the midst of people who are brighter than you, you stretch yourself to be better. We must see the bigger picture. We must inspire belief beyond the environment. The environment might not look conducive, but you must inspire them that there is a better place. Which is what Mr. Bankole did for me. He made me know I was better than the struggle in mathematics. Let our words inspire them. Let our word help them feel good that this thing is a challenge I can overcome. You must model integrity, empathy, and resilience. So you see, they are watching you. Because life will throw to you as their leader or as their teacher things that will test you, and they will see how you respond or you react to it. So we must also collaborate with parents and the community, which we saw in that video. You see, the woman came and said, my son had a C minus. And the lady said, wow, that's great. Maybe the boy was coming from a D or an E. And he had taken baby steps to get to C minus. And she came to fight. She took him from frying pan to fire. We must collaborate with parents, because beyond what you teach them in class, there must be a continuity in the home front. They must be able to maintain. One of our speakers said somewhere that you must be able to give reports to parents. So in the report, you let them know, oh, this is where we are. We were able to make progress from point A to point B minus or point B plus. Please help build up on it, so that when they come back home, it's not that they have dropped down to point A, but we'll be building up to get better results. So we must collaborate with parents. And we must lead as teachers with excellence. Let excellence be a lifestyle, not a once and for all thing. It should be a part of us. If you're going to do anything, please do it well. And then number 3, we must influence through connection. We must influence through connection. I will also refer to the movie. For every of those people who came to that woman's rescue, each of them said the things she did for them. One said, you bought me textbooks when my parents could not buy me. That was connecting on common grounds. She connected with them at their level. One said, you bought lunch for me when I didn't have lunch. One said, you replaced my bicycle when it got missing. Can you imagine a $200 out of a teacher's salary? So what will be left? So I'm sure she had lived her life on sacrifice. Even in old age, she was still going to remove her eggs and her steaks to buy pencils and bírons. How many of us can do that now? Oh. Your children are in the house. You will cook rice for them without me because her steak was her meat. Oh. She removed the meat, she removed the egg, so she will eat her bread with only butter or eat her yam with oil. Do we still have people who do that? I say, am I communicating to somebody? Do I have a witness in the house? So we must influence through connection. We must show genuine interest in people. Look, if you care genuinely about people, they know. When you are faking it, they know. When you are doing it because you want to get something out of it, they know. We're the only ones who don't know that we are transparent enough for people to see. So we must be genuinely interested in people. We must also influence them by connecting with them through listening, hearing, and making them feel valued. How do we do that? We must understand their struggle. We must first seek to understand before we are being understood. I watched a documentary, and there was a young boy who always came late to class. And the teacher would always flog him and write about him being late. And then one day, the teacher happened to go to where he was living. He went to visit someone else. He didn't know the boy was living in that community. The teacher went to visit a community somewhere and then saw that the young boy was living with a sick parent. And this young boy will wake up in the morning to go and fetch water from the stream, do the house chores, make food for his sick parent, and then come to school. And it was a distance to school. And then when he discovered that that was the route the guy was taking every day, he called the boy and he had to apologize to him. But you know what? He had disciplined the boy before he discovered what the problem was. How many of us will take our time and ask if there's something wrong with one of our pupils that is doing it consistently? You know, we'll say once was a mistake. Twice is no longer a mistake, right? The boy was perpetually late. But there was no way he would not be perpetually late in that circumstance. How many of our children do house chores before they go to school these days? The one inside their house, so the plate they ate with. Not to say you will go to stream, you will do food. Even the food you did, they will expect you to warm it for them to eat. We will connect when we listen, we care, and we make them feel valued. Understand their struggle and celebrate their progress. That was what that woman did when they said he got a C-. She applauded the progress, even if it's a very little progress. Your child has been getting a D, and then he came home with a C. You say, is that what your mates are getting? Is there no A? I remember my husband telling my daughter when she was in her first year in university, she came home with a a 4.2 or 4.3. And then he said, the remaining 5 marks, who did you give it to? And the girl was like, 4.2. So she came and cried to meet me. I said, you know he's your coach. I said, me, I didn't get 4.2. So you have tried. But that's what we do. Yes, it might be that we're encouraging them to be better, but there are better ways to communicate it. Why don't we celebrate their small successes, their small wins? That way they feel seen. They feel that I'm making effort and it's being appreciated, and they desire to do more. They desire not to want to disappoint you, so they put in more effort. So we must communicate and connect with them by understanding their value, their struggles, identifying with it, and then we celebrate their wins. We must also build trust and allow learning to flourish. Except your children or your student trust you, they won't ask you questions. I've met students in lesson classes. When you ask them, they say they don't understand. And I ask, did you tell your teacher you didn't understand? They said no. So the question is, why will your student not be able to raise their hand and tell you in class that, ma, sir, I don't understand? Have you experienced that before? I didn't hear anything. Do you have people like that? So have we tried to interrogate why they won't communicate to us if they don't understand? Could it be fear? Fear that if they ask us, we'll talk them down. Fear that if they ask us, some of their colleagues will laugh at them, and we don't say anything about it. Could it be that it's shame? That you're the only one who won't understand what the teacher is teaching? We must let them trust us that when I ask questions, I will get answers. When I ask questions, I will not be laughed at. I will not be talked down at. I will not be looked down at. So they must trust us that learning can flourish. Wow. Okay, I think I have 2 slides more. The 4th thing is that the heart of leadership is service and example. To teach beyond the classroom, your students must see you value what you teach and you are consistent about it. It's not something they see you do once and for all or once in a while. It should be a lifestyle. I think one of the speakers here has also mentioned something about it. That her students usually say, we know you. Do your students know you to be consistent with what you teach or what you practice? It should be a lifestyle of example and service. You should lead by example, not just instruction. Practice what you preach. Is do as I do, not do as I say. Your actions give credibility to your words. It's not enough for you to just talk. Can they see you do what you're talking about? If you want to see your student do what you want them to do, please show them by example. And finally, build a legacy of impact. And the only way you can build a legacy of impact is that you replicate yourself in the children that you're teaching. Pour yourself into them. Pour yourself into people you're mentoring. Be a guide that they want to follow. Be a mentor to someone. And with that few words of mine, I hope I've been able to inspire someone to teach beyond the classroom and build a legacy. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you so much, Coach Lalade. Everything she said, I'm sure you picked it. I saw some of us making videos. Beautiful. Please put to use what you have learned, because the truth is these children are influenced by you, either negatively or positively. The truth is you influence them either way. So make sure every influence is positive. I remember about 3 days ago, my first son was writing his assignment and he was given simplification. So he was writing, and you know, when somebody is writing and you know that this person is actually under pressure. And I just told him, simplification is very simple. Let me give you a method. And as I was doing the whole thing, I was teaching him the normal way we were taught, you know, denominator multiplied by, denominator multiplied by the whole number plus the numerator over the denominator. He just told me, no, that's not what my teacher taught me. So to prove a point to him, I had to tell him, use your method, I use my method, let's see the answer. We now got the same answer. But still, you know what he told me? He said, still, I prefer my teacher's method. Do you see that? We are actually influencers. Every doctor was taught by a teacher. Every engineer by a teacher. Everyone, every profession you can think of in the world had a teacher. So that means we are the influencers. We are the leaders. That is why we have the theme. Teachers are leaders. Take your place as the leaders. It has been said that our reward is in heaven. But I have never believed that statement. Because our reward is not in heaven. It starts from here. And it is in your hands to actually take your rightful place. What do your students call you? When they see you, do they run away or they embrace you? What do they do? Think about it. I would like to recognize the presence of our father of the day, being represented by his amiable and loving wife. Please, a round of applause. I told her she would have to say something, but she was trying to hide. But somehow she will still tell us, Ekuleo, Ekabo. She will still say something to us. Please, a round of applause for Pastor Mrs. Titi Lokwe Adeboye.
Good afternoon, everyone. I believe we are having a beautiful time. I came a bit late, but from what I learned myself, I'm not a teacher by profession, but I'm a teacher by influence, by responsibility, by association. And so it's a good thing to be here today. And just to add to what I believe most of our facilitators today have said, we are shapers. We shape the destiny of the children that we teach, that we interact with. Every opportunity to pour into them, we must do to the best of our ability and to the best of whatever capacity that we can. So it's just an encouragement for us to continue to put in our best. And thank God for meetings like this where we can also interact, share ideas, gain more knowledge and things like that. And I hope that we will be the best for it by the grace of God. Thank you so much for having me, and enjoy the rest of your day. God bless you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. God bless you. Thank you for joining us today. Let's quickly recognize the presence of Mr. Alaba Alakwe, the NUT chairman for Ojo branch. Thank you so much for joining us, sir. God bless you. All right, we'll be going straight into the question and answer, the panel session you've been waiting for, where you ask all your questions. Please do not hold anyone back. Somebody is already telling me about a particular question, and I am so interested in the answer I am going to get from the panelists about that question. So if you know you won't be able, or because of our time, just write down your questions. We'll have the ushers go around. Just give them your question. We would have them attended to. Please drop your questions now. So please welcome with me to this podium our able president and co-founder of ANPAIN, Coach Fowowe SS. Thank you so much for being here. You're welcome, sir. You're welcome, sir. You're welcome, sir. Please welcome with me my friend, my brother, and my lecturer now. Dr. Adekunle Ibrahim Oladejo. Thank you for coming. Please welcome with me Mrs. Akinyemi Olajumoke Anike, a retired Director of Education of the Local Government Service Commission. She's my mom. She's a mother to me. A mother that does not leave you alone. Thank you so much for being here, ma'am. Please take a seat. And then I would like to have one more person on the seat, and that is the person of Dr. Eniola KG Ola Alani. Thank you so much, ma'am. We have lots of questions for you. God bless you.
Please, a round of applause again for our panelists. A big round of applause for them. And we want to say a big thank you for honoring our invitation and making it here today. So quickly, I want to, I know Dr. Oladejo has something to say, so I'm going to give him the mic to just say it quickly. Thank you, sir.
Okay, on a lighter ground, the question to ask is why me? But it's fine, you don't have to answer it. Good afternoon, sirs and ma'ams. I say that we are lucky to be teachers. I am lucky to be a teacher. I think I am one of the very few persons who chose to want to be teachers right from onset. Not because I was not given medicine, not because I was not given engineering, and then the only choice is to be a teacher. I am not one of them. If you are not one of them, clap for yourself. You see, we are very few, I know. But because you were given the job of being a teacher, and now you have taken your faith and you are now doing very well, clap for yourselves. Better. And when you're not budging, I know. Okay. I have been asked to say something, and that is to give a summary of my overview about the lovely presentations that we have had. And I want to caption that on the contextual leadership. And I repeat that, contextual leadership. We have run some experimental studies on leadership within the classroom, particularly in the STEM classroom. And one of what we are trying to decolonize is, if it is not white, it is not good. I saw an example in Dr. Ola Alani's presentation where she was going to show the chalkboard. It was black. But the smart classroom, it was white. I disagree with her anyways, and she knows I disagree. African black, can be smart too. And white can also be chalkboard. So as teachers in the classroom, we need to be contextual in our leadership style. Otherwise, we may unconsciously be passing a wrong information to our learners. That when it is good, it is white. And when it is not so good, it is black. I also look at the slides from the last presenter, Coach Olalade. Most of the images, most of the pictures there, whites. Where are the blacks in this world? If I want to be a leader, I prefer to be a contextual leader. I am black and I'm proud of being black. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Please, if you're clapping, can you do that better? Amazing, amazing. Okay, so the next question is directed to Prof. Ola Alani. And we want to say thank you again for the amazing section we had previously. And basically, the question here is focused on, yes, we encourage students to keep learning, and many teachers struggle to find time or motivation for their own growth? How can teachers reignite their passion for learning and stay relevant in a fast-changing educational world? I don't know if you want me to come again, Ma. Okay. We encourage students to keep learning, yet many teachers struggle to find time or motivation for their own growth. How can teachers reignite their passion for learning and stay relevant in a fast-changing educational world? Yes, ma'am.
Hello, thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. Are we still together? Yes, so that's a big question. And I'm happy we are, majority of us are teachers. Even Mrs. Ade Boye has agreed to at least be part of us. You see, when we are talking about teaching, just like the last presenter, teaching should go beyond classroom. And when you are teaching yourself. Anytime I go to class, it's a practice with me. I always go with the knowledge of learning from my learners. I see myself as like a farmer. You know, when a farmer is going to farm, you go with just one, what do you call it, corn, and you expect a pod to come out. So when you see yourself as a teacher, you can develop yourself. For example, this is a training. At least from what we have learned today, what we have heard, we will have developed ourselves. Anytime I go for a workshop, training, round figure table, I be round table, whatever, I always tell myself that I must take something home. My students must see a change in me. You see, all this, a change must start with me, that kind of, we have to practicalize it. Number one, Professor Noah has left. And let me tell you one thing. He was talking about AI. Whether we like it or not, AI has come to stay. It is we that we must develop ourselves on how we make use of AI. You don't just go there and run zeros. You go there, you copy, and you develop it. So when you are teaching your students, it's a time. I like my institution, University of Ilorin. Network is everywhere. Wi-Fi is everywhere. So when I teach in class, I tell them to go online. I tell them, be on your keypad. Let's check this thing. When you go to class, what you are teaching in this 21st century might have gone with 20th century. So in the class, you learn more. With the video we watched now, you see, the reward of teacher, let me say our rewards are here on earth. You don't force it to come. I tell people I don't look for cheap recognition. When you greet me, I answer. If you don't greet me, I greet you. It's a time I don't wait for my students to say good morning to me before I say it. When I pass, I greet everybody. It's none of my business to listen to your response. If you like, you can respond. It's not the time that you'll be looking at people and say, you have not greeted me. You grieve yourself. This is the century where you talk to learners in a pleasant way because you want them to grow. And you know, in their growth is your leadership whatsoever. When your learners are good, you have made it in life. Whether they recognize you or they don't recognize you, you are somebody. You are built. So please, teachers, let's continue to build ourselves. I said it in person when I was presenting that we should look beyond salary. This profession gives us opportunity. Whether you are a primary school teacher, secondary school teacher, you have time for yourself. You can tell me you close by 4 o'clock. Yes, after that 4 o'clock, you can see soap. You can make that toilet soap. You can do some other skills. This is part of education. That is what I said about Bloom taxonomy. Skill is there. Get a skill. Get something doing aside of salary. So that is the way we can build ourselves. And please, let's encourage our learners. Relationship matters a lot. This is not the time you call them dirty names. This is the time you are their friends. You bring them to yourself. You see them as your biological children. And let me shock you. These academic children will do many things your biology children will not do for you. They will do it for you. I can't remember when last I bought cake for my birthday. And I can't remember when last my own biological children have sent cake to me. But I want to tell you, and you can confirm from anybody, there is no year that I celebrate my birthday that I don't receive like 4 or 5 cakes. So that is part of the leadership. That is part of the training you are giving them. It's not that you begged for it, but they know it as a duty. And it is part of education. It is part of our culture. Give and take. So that is the best I can say.
Thank you.
That.
Thank you so much, ma. Please, a round of applause for Doctor. Thank you, ma. Okay. So I have a question here for Mrs. Akiyemi Olajimoke. And the question goes thus. A learner who is struggling in various subjects across primary level, different approaches have been used, including hands-on activities, making the learner feel very important. But still, the child still struggles. Both the teacher and parents are doing their best, but yet to yield any results. Is there any advice or approach that you can help with, looking at your vast knowledge in education?
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Before I answer your question, I want to welcome all teachers here. Great teachers. I'm proud to be a teacher. Dr. Lade just said something the other time that, not that he doesn't have any other thing to do before you decided to go into teaching profession. I don't want to be a teacher in the first place. I was a circumstantial teacher. But when I enter into the profession, I saw that it is a calling for me. It's something that I now love, that I can't do without. So I am proud to be a teacher. And just like from the first speaker, Dr. Alani, I'm proud of you, ma. And I want to be like you. If you notice among all of them, I'm the only person that is just, my title is Mrs. We have Dr. Alani, we have Dr. Oladejo, and we have Coach Dr. Fowowe. So I want to be like them. And that is why as teachers, we should not be complacent with our position. Always aspire for more. Develop yourself. Let me go to the questions that the MC asked me. The only thing you can do, first of all, you need to be the friend of that child. Let that child have confidence in you. The child might be struggling, but whatever thing that child is struggling with, put yourself in the position of that child. Be empathetic with the child. You can tell the child, you can do it. Give that child, teach that child what they call self-esteem. Tell that child, either a girl or a boy that is struggling with something, with a subject that they've been teaching him or her that he doesn't know. You are a prince. You can do it. You are not an ordinary person. You can do it. I believe in you. You can do it. Be the friend of that child. Let that child see himself or herself as somebody that is valued. When you allow that child to see himself or herself as somebody that is valued, that whatever anybody says about you, look at the last speaker, Coach Ololade. She said she cannot forget her mathematics teacher. Why? Because that teacher has taught her. That is why we as teachers, we are not only to come and teach, we are to teach to touch lives. Teaching to touch lives. When you teach and you pour yourself inside a child, whatever thing that child is going through, put yourself in the position of that child. Let that child know that what you are going through, you are not the only one going through it. I'm also going through with it, with you. Let that child know that, especially when you call them sweet name, like through. Let them know who they are. That you are not ordinary, you are a treasure, you are value.
Wow. Thank you so much, Ma. Please, can we do that better if we are clapping? One thing that stood out for me when Mrs. Akiem was speaking is that as teachers, we have to be empathetic, yes, and we have to motivate our students. Oh, yes. My mom is a retired teacher.
Oh, I love
and
that.
There's one thing, she always calls me a professor, and I'm like, I'm not a prof yet. But anytime she says that, I'm inspired. I'm like, if my mom sees me this way, I can do so. Thank you.
Oh, yes.
Amazing. Okay, so the next question is going to Coach Fowowe. And it's from one of the attendees. The person is asking, so according to Professor A.O.K. Noah, he said that there was a company that employed workers but paid them little amount of salary. If such happens in the educational setting, can the teachers be effective in the classroom? If yes or no, what's the way out?
Thank you very much. I was actually inspired by that video I watched. But something resonated in me, that why going foreign when we have classical examples, numerous examples in Nigeria. I am a classical example of that. I benefit on a daily basis from the students I have taught. So we don't need to go to UK. Before, I have a story of Baba Okpe. I'll share it in 1 minute. Baba Okpe was a class teacher, I think a biology teacher at Aberdeen. Maths teacher, Aberdeen, University of Ibadan. A man was teaching passionately without expecting any reward. And there were two schools, there are still two schools, University of Ibadan. The one owned by University of Ibadan and the one owned by government of Oyo State. Two different classes. The children of the professors and the children of the gardeners. So Baba Okpe was teaching mathematics at the one owned by Oyo State government. He was teaching passionately. One day, 3 children of the professors were coming. They had Baba Okpe vibrating mathematics. They just whisper, they just peeped. And they said, they have to remove their uniform because they must not be seen with the children of the downtrodden. So they removed their shirt, sneak into not the class, under the tree, under mango, sneak there, and they were so, in fact, they had what Baba Okpe was vibrating. They said, wow, Baba Okpe in a public secondary school is better than our teacher in the international school. So they resolved, 3, 4 of them resolved that they will be coming after closing hour to attend Baba Okpe under the tree, not in the classroom. That was 1984. Why came? They did well because they attended Baba Okpe's class more than their classmates at the staff school. Oh, 8, 10 years ago, one of them was the #1 PA to the former vice president of Nigeria, and that's Professor Sibajo. They just woke up. One of them woke up one day and said, we are this today because of that man who made us to pass. That man helped them to pass all the sciences. And they just said, we should be looking for Baba Okpe. Baba Okpe has retired very old. But through Facebook, they located Baba Okpe, who built a house at Ota. So they went there. Baba Okpe couldn't recognize them. They came and said, are you Baba Okpe? And anybody that could call Baba Okpe must have been one of the students attending the 80s. He said, you must have attended Aberdeen. They say, yes. You don't know us? We're the children of those professors who were sneaking into your class. Say, I can't forget. We came to compensate you. They actually wrote a check of 1 million. But they were surprised to see Baba Okpe in a mansion with a Mercedes Benz, new one. They were surprised. Teacher in Lagos. So they, in Ibadan, sorry, that relocated to Lagos. They now said, sorry, the man has to call others. Say, I met Baba Okpe with a Mercedes Benz and a mansion. We can't give him 1 million. They went out to check to change the check to 5 million. And they gave it to Baba Okpe. Baba Okpe said, oh, your classmate came last year. They bought me a basement and built this house for me.
Wow.
They have to give 5 million. Where am I going? The Okpe is still teaching at Festa Grammar School. The son. He's teaching at Baba Okpe is living in a mansion with a Mercedes Benz and millionaires. It is because Baba Okpe was teaching passionately without even expecting reward. In fact, those who rewarded him were not even those who he was expecting anything from. So as teachers, salary may be meager, but you are doing it for Nigerian child. And yes, you are doing it for Nigerian child. And I want to say, without any reservation, in fact, without any apology, to any school owner that is here, if you pretend to pay, people will pretend to teach. If you pretend to pay, people will pretend to teach. You see, fine, we want to appreciate the private school owners who are greatly supporting federal government and state government. If not for them, sincerely, if not for them, government will have, if it's possible for them to commit suicide, they will have committed suicide. So I appreciate you for even running for starting a private school. It isn't easy. But however, what is worth doing at all?
It's worth doing well.
And I want to advocate, we don't know where they'll be hearing our voice. Pastor Mr. Adeboye, we don't know where we are going to take this one to. We want to appeal to government. If you want a standard, spell out your standard. Give it to those who are intending or who have established schools. Then give them loan and spread it for 25 years. Spread that loan for 25 years to ensure that the standard you are advocating for is built. Teachers, don't play with capacity building. I'm sorry I came late because I've been at the workshop for the past 1 week. Since Sunday, I have to sneak by because I must attend this. Lagos State, the state of excellence, is basically the first of all the 36 states, including Kwara, where Olalani came, is the first state to train teachers in the preschool on the new curriculum. So Lagos is the first state in Nigeria as of today who has trained all the teachers in the 1026 public primary school in Lagos State on how to handle the newly introduced preschool curriculum. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Please, a round of applause. Thank you, sir. You know, he said something that stood out. He said, whatever is worth doing at all is worth doing well. So irregardless of the salary, I know it's hard to say because when you look at the country, you say, oh, where do I start from? But when you look at the passion, when you're actually teaching with passion, it's about how you want to make the child's life better. Because, you know, they are the leaders of tomorrow. In fact, they are the leaders of today. So whatever you instill in that child is what is going to make the child great. We are helped by God's grace. Amen. So the next question here is for Dr. Eniola. And it goes, she spoke about the grade 2 teachers doing a lot of practicals. University is more of theories and codes. What can the university do that I would not need to go to schools like that and the likes for practicals to be able to fit into the education sphere?
Thank you for that question. Well, I talked about innovation, creativity. Most schools have started it. I think I copied it from SS School. There was a time I visited Adeniran Ogunsoya, then Adeniran Ogunsoya, and I saw some practical things there. I was like, wow. So the little time I spent with Adeyemi College of Education, I introduced practical work to my students. And in University of Ilorin today, there is no class. I don't know the subject. I don't know the topic. I don't know the course you give me that I will not introduce one practical thing that you do. Is it, what do you call it, bottle cover? Is it straw, carton, everything? And you know, this has to be introduced to learners so that they will be able to do it after they've graduated from school. Universities, colleges of education and the likes should not be teaching an abstract alone. We should bring in skills. You know, I said Bloom taxonomy talked about it, but you know, schools, it is only the practical aspect of education we are teaching our learners. So please, as teachers at any level, I can remember very well when we were in primary school, we used to do this clay work. They would ask us to go and get clay. But we have graduated. Technology has taken place. We are now doing plastering, we are doing Play-Doh and the likes. So please, no, there's no a subject or no topic you teach your learners that you cannot bring out a project. Let them do something. You know, by doing it, they are developing their skills. By doing it, you are building yourself. You are even relieving yourself of more work to do. That's why we call assignment continuous assignment. You don't just give blanket assignment. Some teachers will give assignment based on what they have taught. No. You give assignment as a continuous assignment, what you are to teach in the next class. Give it to your learners. You can tell them to draw for you. In a class of 30, you see someone that knows how to draw. Tell them to draw. Tell them to mold. That's how to build them. So skill acquisition, government is even canvassing for it. The government is canvassing for it. How many people can government employ? And I want to tell you, you can be an employer of labor. In my own school, come there, you see hand fan. We make hand fan with Dangote nylon. Very beautiful. We do teddy bear. We do throw pillows. We do different things that my students are selling. Most of my students are making, what do you call it, detergents. They are making liquid soap. They are making Izad, Dettol, and the like. Part of what we taught them in class. So the burdens will not be even too much on their parents or guardians, because they will be making little money that will not even affect their academic work. So please, teachers, as we are going, let's go online, let's check. What can I give to my learners? What can they do? Let our teaching go, let our teachings should go beyond writing and reading, speaking and dictating. Let them do practical work. And we can see after that to contribute, because I know they can. Let them contribute. This is very germane, very vital. So at least let's take it to our different schools.
Thank you. Any questions? Okay, I should contribute to what Doctor I just said.
Yes, ma'am.
Like Doctor said that the government is canvassing for entrepreneurs now. Gone are the days when you finish from the university, you are always looking for this white-collar job. There's no more white-collar job anywhere now. What we have now is wealth creator. So you, as a teacher, let us teach our children. Let us tailor them. What parents cannot discover in our children, we can discover it as teachers. And that is where we are called second parents of our children. We are not only employers, we are not only employees. We are also a local parenting as teachers. And just like Doctor said, we need, like I sent something to Prof. I saw it. I just saw something on the Facebook, a new curriculum. I don't know, maybe it has been taken. The curriculum is 3-3-3-3-4. And what I just read from that thing is that the first 3 years of a child, there is a gift in a child. There's a potential in a child that you as teachers should be able to discover. And when you discover that thing, then you tailor that child towards that thing. I think that is what they do in the Western world. And that is why they are better than us. Most of the things we do in the country is theory, theory, theory. There is need for us now to shift from theory to practical. People should be able to do something with their hands. And as teachers, we are in the right position to do that. When you discover that a child loves something like electronics, then that teacher might be either an engineer. So you tailor that child towards that thing. Any child that loves to take care, to do this, to do that, you should know maybe that child is going to be either a nurse or a doctor or a pharmacist. That one is going to go to a health personnel. So what we are saying is that as teachers, enough of theory. Let us go practical. Let us discover our pupils on time so that we can tailor them towards that. Either you are in the primary school or you are in the secondary school. You as teachers, you have a big role to play in that. That's my addition.
Amazing. Please, can we celebrate our panelists? Teachers have a big role to play. I hope we got something from that. Thank you so much, Ma. Okay, so our last question, because of our time, is going to Coach Fowewe, and it's from one of the attendees. The person is asking, most students in the public schools go for, it's still on skill acquisition, but on a flip side, most students in the public schools go for skill acquisition or apprenticeship jobs like tailoring, etc. And when they are in class, they lose interest between the academic work and the apprenticeship job. They are not doing so well academically, coupled with the fact that most of them come from backgrounds or basically poor environment, according to the person asking the question. How can we help these set of students to do better in their academics?
Thank you very much. Like the last two speakers spoke, the solution to that practicalization of, of pedagogical activities is to ensure that teachers write on daily or weekly basis what I call activity-based lesson notes. Activity-based lesson note, activity-based lesson plan. And I don't know where you got your statistics from, that the children of the poor are the one not ready to learn. I don't know who gave you the statistics. I came from a very poor family, and I am ready to learn, unlearn and relearn every day. I didn't know where you got that statistics from, that the children of the poor are those who are given the opportunity to learn skills, and when they come to class, they won't concentrate. That statistics, that data need to be questioned, because it is the children of the poor that want to even do the two. The rich kids don't learn work. They don't learn work because somebody is there for them to take them abroad. Somebody is there to take them around, to even to fix them up. So it is the children of the poor that must even learn one trade before even they go to university. If you miss it when you go to university, during your service year, ensure you learn it. All my children, to the glory of God, they learn one trade. They have never paid in the last 2 years for tailoring. You understand? So that a child must, because you don't know where this country is going to, you must learn one trade. So the children of the poor that are here, please ensure you combine the two, both the trade and the academic. I wish you well.
Thank you so much, sir. Please a round of applause for him. And please let us just clap for our panelists. They've been so wonderful. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, Maz. And on that note, we have come to the end of the panel session. And we want to invite some of the speakers that are still around so they can take a picture with our panelists. Okay, ma'am.
Hello, sorry, before we close, I don't know, maybe any teacher have any questions beside the one they have asked us. Because I know some of them will be loaded with questions, but because of the time, I don't know, you can just give them maybe one or two of them so that they can be able to...
They wrote the questions.
They have written it.
Yes.
But somebody is just raising her hands up now.
Okay, does anybody have a question that they want to ask?
Okay. And I don't know if any teacher here has heard about TRCN, especially those from the private schools. Please, if you have not heard about it, you can see us at the end of the program. So, can you...
Okay.
Hello?
Good afternoon, everyone present. Yeah, I got a report from someone last week that there's this particular people in the classroom that has been, failing the class concurrently. And I was like, how will that happen? This is a private school. And you are saying a child keeps failing in the class. What has the teacher done to the effect? They said they called the parent, they explained the situation, and they think there is no synergy between the parents and the teacher. I said, no, I will not take this as a teacher. If a child should fail year one, then the subsequent year there must be a kind of plan to help the learner and stuff like that. But I don't want to take the ball into my court alone. I want the expert present to help us as to what we can do to help such a learner. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am.
In the first instance, Alaja, in the first instance, when the boy or the girl joined the school, was there any readiness test taken? And you need to ask, was there any readiness test? There must be school readiness test first. After that, you go to subject readiness test. It is the result of this test that determine the class we are going to place. The private schools, you are guilty of this. When a child comes because you are going to go to church on Sunday and say, do Thanksgiving that God has just added somebody to your school. You are not ready to do what I call readiness test. You must do it. You do the subject readiness test, do the class readiness test, do the school readiness test. When you must have done all these tests, the result of that test will inform the class that boy, that girl will be, will inform the subject that the child is deficient in, so that the teacher will be giving the result, and as you see the result, you begin to work on the deficiencies, and before you know it, there will be success stories. So they must have failed at the foundational stage to have conducted all of these tests. But however, the child might be a special need child. A special need child that is not taken to an inclusive class. So advise them to take that child to, first of all, diagnose. That's what we call pedagogical diagnosis. You are going to diagnose the child to know what kind of special need child is. Is he an autistic child? Is he a Down syndrome? Is he a hyperactive guy? You must know. Once you know this, that child might not even fit into that school. It might be fit into the inclusive school. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Do we have any more questions? Any more? Oh, well, good. Thank you so much, ma. So on that note, ma, please, sir and Maz, can you make your way to the photo stand where we take the pictures alongside with the speakers still around and Pastor Mrs. Adeboye? Please, your attention is needed outside. Please, let's clap for them as they make their way out. Thank you so much, sir. Yes, the photo stand is to take pictures. Thank you so much. Thank you, ma.
TLC 2025. Are we tired? TLC 2025. Well, about rounding up. Please, can you give yourself a big round of applause? You've been amazing. You've been listening. You've been getting value. And you've been transformed, I believe. So I'm going to call up the first insurance, which is one of the sponsors, Mr. Amadi. Mr. Amadi, are you in the house? Okay, so I'm going to pass the mic on to you briefly, Amadi. Thank you so much. We appreciate you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. You're all welcome to this very great occasion. So, my name is Amadi. My mission here is very simple. I'm not a teacher. Yes, you might be asking, who is Mr.